Famous athletics.
Yeah.
So
Famous
what do you say?
athletics?
Yeah.
Athletics. So
Been ahead of my peers, just used to pedal the slowest. Now you pedal the fastest in a circle of motion. Fame moved up in weight, ran out of opponents, so it's time to.
The famous athletics.
in the building.
In the building for that weigh-in.
Goes on if he's still in it.
Down goes Garcia. On a perfect counter right. And shot by Rocky Martinez.
Bums beats.
Get out your feelings. This ain't the channel to be in your feelings. This is the dopest channel on the planet. It's famous for famous athletics. Let's talk the athletic talk. Robert Easter Jr. had success with Mikey Garcia in his own way. Even though he took an L, and I say he had success in sticking to the game plan for the first few rounds, being long, being rangy, using the jab, and having minor success against Mikey Garcia. But the number one thing that he did was he did not go away from the game plan. Although he used his jab, it didn't work. Mikey was able to bend and cut corners, use angles, come in and drop Robert Easter Jr. Robert Easter Jr. fought a very disciplined fight, and he knew to survive. And after he got hit with some firepower, it was over. Adrian Broner, at the same time, had success against Mikey Garcia in the earlier rounds when he started the box. But after Mikey Garcia got his timing down, Adrian Broner folded to Mikey Garcia's and became hypnotized by Mikey Garcia, as Mikey Garcia even won a whole round with just feints on Mikey Garcia. Being gun shy is something that Adrian Broner is prone to. Robert Easter Jr., once he felt the power, he was gun shy. So these guys say that he hits hard, but at the same time, Robert Easter Jr. and Errol Spence Jr. is not. Robert Easter Jr. and Adrian Broner is not Errol Spence Jr. Robert Easter Jr. and Adrian Broner train out of the same camp, same team. They both about billions, about AB promotions. In fact, Robert Easter Jr. was using the same touch jab as Adrian Broner when he fought Pacquiao. Robert Easter Jr. was trying to use that touch jab against Mikey Garcia. And that's one of the things that Mikey Garcia feels he can exploit. If you use the touch jab, he has something for it. But Errol doesn't only use the touch jab, he variates that. He variates the jab. He always has the jab there. You can land a clean shot on him, best believe a jab is coming at you. So you better slip, you better duck. And that's for 12 whole rounds, people. So for 12 whole rounds, you got to deal with a jab. 12 whole rounds, you got to deal with somebody coming forward. 12 whole rounds, you got to deal with immense mental breakdown. 12 whole rounds, you got to deal with somebody who's bigger than you, who can lean on you, push you, get on the inside game, mid-range, sneaky body shots. You have to deal with all of this. Seeing that Mikey Garcia is a great asset to what he's doing, so is Errol Spence. And when you jump up weight classes, you're gonna see what happens when you jump up weight classes. Jumping up weight classes is there for a reason. Like Peter Garcia said himself, is ways that you jump into a weight class. You don't just come in if it's the top guy. But since you feel like you the best, let's see Mikey Garcia try to be great. Let's see him come to conclusion at the end of the night. Did he really feel like he wanted to get into this matchup? Let's see. This is a very interesting bout. It's coming up soon. We're pretty much in February. It's January 25th. You know, we're about 5 weeks out, 6 weeks out. This is the biggest name fight talked about at this present time. We got other fights, but this is the biggest name, biggest talk. Errol Spence Jr. definitely claps back at Keith Thurman as well. Keith Thurman, we need that energy when you see Errol Spence Jr. so we can see how explosive it will be, just like the same way when Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford met up. You know what I'm saying? We need that same energy. Can we get one of those, but then can we get an actual fight since you're on the same side of the street? Can we get a unification bout? Is this still a comeback year? We all know what time it is. But back to Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence Jr. Now, Errol Spence Jr. is going to bring with Mikey Garcia, with Adrian Broner and Robert Easter Jr. brung in the first few rounds, plus more. And we're going to see how technical Errol Spence Jr. is. We're going to see how easy, quote unquote, he is to get hit. We're going to see the lack of, he just come for a fighter. We're going to see. We're going to see on fight night. We're going to see if Mikey can stand the rain. Can he weather the storm for 12 rounds? Is this going to bring back memories when he quit like against Alito? We know he quit. Even though he won, he quit. But it's all good at the end of the day. Just ask yourself, when those excuses, matter of fact, this is going to be in every video until it's over. Them talking. So when you have excuses at the end of the night, this is going to be right there, especially if you're watching my videos. It's famous from famousathletics.com. Let's keep the talk athletic. None of the racist stuff. Let's keep the talk athletic. Keep it fun, keep it interesting. Everything's still a sport, so it's my sportsmanship award. And just like that, Famous is gone.
All right, so now you're a 4-division champion. You're a unified champion now. What's next? Is Errol Spence, as a lot of people have said, he's here this evening. Is that what you'd like to do? Go up 12 pounds and fight at 147?
I'm here for the biggest challenges. I don't know if there's anybody else with a bigger challenge than Errol Spence. I would fight at welterweight. I want to challenge myself to the fullest. I know he's up for any fighter. He's up to fight anybody. So that's what I want.
Do you think that can be made, and do you think that, in fact, that will happen?
I think there's a very high chance that it can be made. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I think that's the next big fight coming up.
Mikey, you go up 12 pounds if you fight Errol Spence, and I know you're just coming off this right now, but do you think you have the power and the ability to face that much of a bigger man?
I feel I have the power and I have the skill set to compete at any division up into welterweight. He's the toughest guy at welterweight, the most feared man, so I want to challenge myself against him.
You kind of held you. I thought you kind of held your tongue back. Like you wanted to say more about it.
What can we say? You know,
I'm just finding
I know. You know, any fighter, myself, one of my fighters, I would try to feel disrespectful to it if I hear my opponent saying he wants to fight other fighters and already talking about future fights. I understand their point too, you know, but all Mikey's doing is answering questions. That's what people want to know. Lomachenko, Errol Spence, because Mikey brought it up one time, and now everybody wants to know about him fighting Errol Spence. You know, and all you guys that are talking about future fights is because you guys have. I'm probably thinking you guys have Mikey as a favorite to win this fight. I don't know. I might be okay. That's what I mean. So common sense, whatever you guys think Mike's doing. So yeah. So you guys are asking questions about Lomachenko, Errol Spence, or whoever's out there. You know, I think we're just answering questions. You know, if you ask me, I'm not challenging Errol Spence. I want Mikey to hold back on that fight. I would want Mikey to wait, and if you ask me, I'd rather get Lomachenko first before anybody else. You know, he's considered one of the best pound for pound fighters, if not number one. He's probably number two. I don't, you know, that'll be the fight that I want for Errol Spence.
Yeah, people in the media are like, Errol Spence, he seems like a much bigger guy.
Mikey? Yep.
Yeah. Well, Mikey's a smaller guy. Yeah. Errol Spence being a bigger guy. Would you want, as being a fan of, I know the business of boxing, would you encourage him to fight an Errol Spence type fighter?
Would I encourage him? No, because it is such a tough fight. He's not moving up to there's moving up to welter. There's moving up weight classes to fight certain guys. The way kind of Roy Jones Jr. moved up to heavyweight, but you know, like there's ways to maneuver it. Mikey's going straight to welterweight against the top dog at welterweight. I would not tell him to do that, but Mikey says that's why he's doing it. He says that's why, because everybody's telling me not to, because you guys are telling me I should wait or this or that. Media's telling me I'm dumb, you know, he's too big for me, this and that. That's why he's doing it. So, you know, that's good. It's going to happen.
I know it's going to happen.
Mark, we be biting. He's done. He's done. Let's go, E. Let's go, E. Strap season. He's done.
Free smoke. Anybody want it, they could get it. No joke.
The biggest, the baddest, and the best. Famous.